Hello, we are on day 12.
What up, everyone?
Day 12. Again, before starting this journal prompt, it would be even more helpful if you watched the previous video where we explained the 3 different parts
Yes.
of a promise, because now we're going to focus on what does a selfless
promise mean to
not
you?
selfish, we're going to selfless promise mean to you. And the tip is the same. You're not supposed to know the actual answer yet. Just express your thoughts on it and share with a friend to discuss.
Exactly.
Alrighty. So, I'm gonna let you explain,
Cool.
and then I'll go into what like me answering this and what's coming up for me.
And I'll make it real simple
to me.
without explaining and going into super detail. Because I like to say, when you paint a picture and you give examples, it helps bring more clarity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you an examples of what a selfless promise looks like. 1, I do it for my family.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I do is for my family. Whether this is for parents, whether this is for patriarchs, matriarchs of a collective family, that is an example where the individual makes all of their decisions off of that. So, for example, if they were going to spend money, they would think of what is good for the whole. That's their mindset. Should I go and do this, buy this car or buy this super fancy ring? Or no, they're thinking, how is that going to benefit the family? How is that going to put food into the mouths of my family, right? So that would be an example of a selfless promise.
Yeah.
Here goes another example of a selfless promise. You created a foundation, right? Nonprofit. And you want to bring water or feed the less fortunate people in your city, right? And so that may be a passion that you have, and you want to make it your career. So a lot of your decisions that you're going to be making from this day forward is going to be centered and focused on that. And people who are in that space, in that realm, know that it is a project. It is a project that cannot be done with just one person. It takes a collective. It takes a community. It takes a lot of organization. It takes donations. It takes a lot of coordination. And the person who starts it, or the people who start it, that's a selfless promise, because normally people want to get more meaning out of their lives. So maybe they make that promise and say, I want to start feeding others. I want to help others that are in need. And one of the simple ways to do that is to provide sustenance, food for the needy, the less fortunate. Those are 2 examples. And I'll give you one more. Here goes one. Whenever my friends need me, I will be there. Regardless of what I have going on in my life, I will be the rock. I will be the shoulder, the person that they can lean on. And I've heard this a few times with family and people that I've grown up with, where they're, because everybody goes through something. And whether it's breakups, whether it's family issues, whether it's homework, when people are going through school, whether it's jobs, people tend to need a shoulder to cry on. They need to dump. They need to vent. And there are very good people out there who take it upon themselves to say, you know what? I'm really good at this. I'm really good at holding space for my friends and people in general. I'm going to be there for people. I'm going to be that rock.
Yeah.
And so those are examples of selfless promises. See, because those make us feel good.
Yeah.
Those emotionally fill us.
Yeah.
You see, that's how you know that they are selfless, because they fill you up emotionally. They make you feel good and great as a person. Unfortunately, it doesn't, how would I say it? It doesn't actually fill you up the whole way.
Yeah, in the other areas.
In the other areas, it doesn't make you feel like you should be appreciated the way you feel.
Yes.
One of the indicators that you know your promise is selfless is that you may feel good and you feel proud about what you're doing, but you feel super burned out.
Yes.
You feel super burned out.
Drained,
overwhelmed, and you have this, here's a saying that I've heard more than a few times. As long as I see a smile, as long as I hear them having a good time, the kids, as long as I can be there for one of them and it helped them that day, I'll feel good. Our selfless promises make us feel good, but they don't completely fill us.
Yeah, because then you would feel energized. You feel like, oh, I could keep going.
Exactly.
Yeah, it drains you out.
It does. And unfortunately, a lot of us fall into this area.
Yes.
So with that said, what does a selfish promise mean to you, Quinn? Selfless. And what does it look like?
Yes, it looks like being tired from a long day's work.
Mm-hmm.
I think about myself and my mom.
I was just about to mention that. I was like, is there somebody that you
that I know?
That you know.
Yes, and it's my mama, and I'll share a little bit about me too, the times where I saw myself doing selfless promises to people. But yeah, my mom, everything she does is for her family. Point blank, period, dot. She'll go to work to earn income for the family. I don't believe that she even loves accounting. She's just good at it. She learned the skills to do it, to acquire finances, to make sure the roof is over our heads. We don't ever have to worry about food, clothes, and shelter. My mom comes home after an 8+ hour day, driving 40 minutes to work, back from work, and guess what she does?
What?
She cooks food to feed her family.
Right, after a full day's work.
Yep.
And after an hour and 20-minute commute. And that's with no traffic.
So you can imagine.
Anybody who cooks out there, it takes at least an hour and a half to cook.
Prep and then cook and then clean. Sometimes there might be someone who helps. Sometimes there won't be anyone who helps. So I just think about the times where I wasn't at home. I don't know what my sisters were doing. Maybe they were filling in, helping out, or they're doing their own thing. But anyway, my mom would just be so exhausted, just drained. And so another thing that comes up for me for selfless promises was my promise to dedicate myself to a company, work. I was in the hospitality industry, and my commitment was to them and give great customer service. And it did. You're so right about that, because it does make you feel good when you do something good for someone, when you make someone smile, when you go the extra mile for somebody. And that was my mission. I was like, I'm gonna make every freaking customer's day. I'm gonna make sure they leave with a great time. And if there's something went wrong, I took pride in knowing how to handle them and really take care of them. I would cover when there needs to be covering. I got promoted supervisor, so I felt really good about that.
Right, you felt proud.
Proud, and I was acquiring these skills that helped me be of service. And after a while, I started feeling burnt out because I was working so much, 40 plus hours there. Oh man, sometimes I would work double because we were short staffed or something happened. And so I gave it my all to that company.
Right.
And
then
I
you
felt
don't
drained.
get paid what you feel like
Exactly.
you should be getting paid.
You don't feel appreciated, right? You're giving no appreciation. You ask for a raise, they give you a 10-cent raise, and they say you get to stay there. No, let's not promote you. You're doing great, so just stay where you are. We want to keep using you, right? You can see, like, and sometimes bitterness might even come too because you've been doing good for so long.
Yeah.
Where's the reward? Hello. So the thing about the selfless is it does make you feel good in that moment because you know you're doing something good and you're seeing a smile. You know, you just made something happen for somebody else.
Exactly.
But then you go home feeling drained.
Yeah.
You don't feel appreciated and you feel tired, and perhaps a little bit bitterness will comes along
After
as
a
well
while.
too, because
After a
I
while.
started getting really bitter. And like, even though
Really what?
bitter. I would complain about it all the time, and but I still kept on showing up. And I wouldn't project that onto the customers. I still made sure that they were okay.
Yeah.
So selfless, that's what I think of. And then my friends, my significant others, anything they needed, I was there.
Right.
Just call me and I'll be there. I was being that friend for others.
Right.
Being that loyal girlfriend that for other people. So that's what a selfless promise looks like.
So
in my experience.
So what would be 2 to 3 indicators to because that's why this question is being posed, you know, in the journal prompt, just like the last one. It's just to get us to be aware
Yes.
that what we have promised to ourselves is selfish, selfless, or considerately selfish.
Yes, which is tomorrow.
Yes. So
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
the whole first 30 days is just to bring awareness, to bring reflection, to bring to the surface, to bring to the forefront your consciousness what is going on and being able to see it all. So in the next second level and the third level, you know, we can create a bridge, you know, to the solution to what you have going on, and then taking action in the third level.
Yes. So
2 to 3 indicators of a selfless promise.
they're tired. Their energy is low.
If you
Tired, low
are
energy.
tired
All the time.
all the time, perhaps your selfless promise, or you have a selfless promise or promises, you know.
Yeah.
What would be another indicator?
I'm thinking about the word yes, where you say yes very quickly when someone needs help. You're quick to help.
You're yes ma'am or yes sir.
Yes, you are just a yes person, especially when it comes to someone asking for help. Or maybe they're not even asking for help, but you would like to do something to help.
Exactly.
Because they're expressing maybe sadness, frustration, something, and you go out of your way to make it happen like a flick of a finger like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
And then the last one, if you can.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. We mentioned being drained already. Shit.
You feel underappreciated.
Ah, yes, you feel underappreciated.
Because the reason why that feeling comes about is because you know here and here that you do a lot for others, and it's not rewarded.
Yeah.
And it is not being.
You're not feeling seen.
You're not feeling seen. And if you ask 10 people, 10 strangers, and then 10 people that you know, I can almost say unequivocally that 8, 9, or even 10 out of 10 will say being recognized is very, very high on their list.
Oh, like of what's important to them.
Exactly.
Right? There's some
Exactly.
sort of being seen, heard, understood.
Exactly.
Right up there.
Because the majority of people don't pay attention to us. They overlook, you know, because there are a
Yes.
lot of selfish individuals out there who are all about me. you know.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of individuals out there who are like yourself, who are good-hearted people, kind people, where you do so much for others, and yet the selfish people are the ones who are getting rewarded.
And that makes you even more mad, right? Because
Exactly.
the selfish people are the opposite. They're the do, and they're really focused on obtaining, and you're so focused on giving.
Exactly.
So there's two different polar places. And I also want to mention, perhaps it's interesting that both, either way that you go with that, whether it be completely selfish or completely selfless, both gives you pain.
There it
Both
goes.
gives you pain. So I'm excited to talk about the next day because it's going to bring all of it together.
Yes.
So once again, if you're behind, I just want to continue to encourage to watch the videos anyways.
Right.
Take notes anyways, so that you can, so when you get to the day that you're on, you already see it. You don't have to rewatch or whatnot and move along and slowly catch up again at your own pace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. So with that said, everyone, this right here is the Quicker Queen for the win. I'm the Pineapple. I go by Happy. Please, please, please. Keep spreading your love. Keep spreading your laughs. Keep spreading your good vibes. And keep working on your awareness. Keep
Yes.
reflecting. Keep reflecting.
And feel free to share your takeaways. We really appreciate for those of you guys who are commenting done, or that like what you got from it. It's like from the last live, people loved seeing what other people had to say. It brings community together, it brings connectingness, and that you are not alone in this. And we are doing this together. We are all in it together.
Right?
Yep.
Stay magical.
Okay.
Mwah.